I want you to listen to me very carefully, because what you're about to hear isn't just another talk about wealth or abundance. It's something that will challenge everything you've ever been taught about money. From the moment you were born, you were programmed to see money as something outside of you. Paper, metal, digital numbers. A cold exchange of labor for survival. You were told to chase it, to fear losing it, to measure your worth by how much of it you have. But that story, that ancient illusion, is one of the greatest lies humanity ever agreed to. Because money is not paper. Money is not a number on a glowing screen. Money is spirit, a living current of energy that responds directly to your consciousness. It listens to the vibration of your thoughts, the tone of your emotions, and the alignment of your soul. It is not lifeless, it's alive. And the most shocking part, 2,000 years ago, Jesus himself revealed the exact secret of how to command it, not to worship it, not to chase it, but to align with it so that it serves divine purpose through you. But before we go there, I need you to grasp something that most people never realize. You cannot attract what you secretly believe is wrong. You can visualize wealth, recite affirmations, light candles, and pray for abundance all you want. But if deep inside you believe that money is evil, or that spiritual people shouldn't have it, you are vibrationally rejecting the very thing you're asking for. It's like trying to breathe while holding your lungs closed. The energy can't enter because your belief system blocks it at the gate. And that, right there, is why millions of people pray for abundance and yet never truly experience it. They kneel before the divine asking for provision, while their subconscious whispers, "I shouldn't have too much." They dream of freedom, but judge others who already have it. They talk about prosperity, but deep down, they equate it with greed, corruption, or selfishness. You see, your belief is the master key of manifestation. You can't attract what you condemn. You can't receive what you resist. And you certainly can't hold what your spirit labels as impure. But when you finally see money not as material, but as spiritual, everything changes. Because money, at its core, is not about possession. It's about permission. Permission to flow. Permission to create. Permission to expand the presence of the divine through form. Think about this. Every coin, every bill, every digital transaction is an exchange of faith. One soul believing that what they give has value, and another soul agreeing that what they receive does too. That invisible agreement is not economics, it's energy. It's the living pulse of creation moving through human hands. When you earn money, it's the universe saying, your energy has created impact. When you spend it with gratitude, it's your soul saying, I trust the infinite source behind this flow. Money was never meant to enslave humanity. It was meant to be a mirror of consciousness. But centuries of fear twisted that mirror into something distorted. Religions began to glorify poverty as holiness, while society glorified greed as success. Both missed the truth completely, because money is neither holy nor sinful. It's neutral energy. It becomes what you project onto it. In the hands of the awakened, it becomes a force of healing, expansion, and good. In the hands of the unconscious, it becomes a weapon of control and suffering. So, the real question is not, do you have money? The real question is, what kind of spirit flows through your money? When Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you, he wasn't talking about heaven as a place, or religion as a system. He was talking about a state of consciousness. The kingdom is alignment, the awakened, awareness of divine abundance that already lives within you. And when you live from that awareness, material things naturally rearrange themselves around your vibration. You stop chasing, you start attracting, you stop begging, you start commanding, because spirit recognizes spirit. The energy of money responds to the same divine intelligence that created it. This is the secret most people never hear. Money doesn't come because of effort, it comes because of alignment. It doesn't obey logic, it obeys law. And that law is vibrational harmony. You don't have to manipulate it, control it, or beg for it. You simply have to match its frequency, gratitude, generosity, circulation, flow. When you bless money instead of fearing it, it multiplies. When you use it for good, it returns to you in greater measure. When you release it with love, it comes back with momentum. Because money is not meant to stagnate, it's meant to circulate. It is energy in motion. And just like blood gives life to the body, the current of money gives movement to your creations. So the next time you hold money, pause, feel it. Don't see it as paper, see it as presence. See it as a messenger of your own consciousness. Ask yourself, what vibration am I sending through this? Because money amplifies whatever you are. If you're fearful, it escapes. If you're grateful, it expands. If you're aligned, it flows endlessly, because it recognizes its source within you. The truth is, you were never meant to serve money. You were meant to serve through money, to let it become an instrument of love, creativity, and spiritual evolution. When your intention is pure, wealth becomes worship, giving becomes meditation, and every transaction becomes a sacred act of divine circulation. So, let me say it again, money is spirit. It is a living consciousness that listens to the sound of your beliefs. You can command it not by control, but by consciousness, not by greed, but by grace, not by fear, but by faith. And when you truly understand that, money will stop running from you, because it will finally recognize you as one of its own. Now, let's go deeper. In the Gospel of Matthew, something remarkable unfolds, something that most people read but never truly see. The people come to Jesus with what seems like a simple question, but it's a trap wrapped in politics and fear. They ask, should we pay taxes to Caesar or not? They want to corner him, to make him choose between loyalty to God and obedience to government. But watch carefully what he does next, because this moment holds a secret that has been buried for centuries. Jesus says, show me the coin. And when they hand it to him, he doesn't argue. He doesn't resist. He doesn't react from ego or fear. He simply asks, whose image and inscription is on it? They reply, Caesar's. And Jesus answers with words so simple, yet so cosmic in their meaning. Then give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. Now, most people stop there. They see a clever answer, a philosophical dodge. But those with eyes to see know that this wasn't philosophy. It was divine code. Jesus wasn't talking about taxes. He was decoding the metaphysics of money. He was showing them, and us, that money carries an image, a frequency, a spirit. It belongs to the realm of form, the physical reflection of energy. But you, made in the image of God, belong to the realm of creation, the invisible cause behind form. In other words, money doesn't rule you. You rule money. That one statement was a portal to spiritual mastery. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and unto God what is God's. Translation: let the things of form serve form, and let the things of spirit serve spirit. Never confuse the two, because the moment you forget that you are consciousness, not currency, you hand your divine authority over to the illusion of matter. This is the secret Jesus demonstrated over and over again. He never chased provision. He commanded it through consciousness. When the multitudes were hungry, he didn't panic. He didn't beg. He lifted his eyes to the invisible source, gave thanks, and multiplied. Gratitude became the gateway through which spirit became bread. When Peter worried about paying the temple tax, Jesus didn't say, we're broke. He said, go to the sea, cast a hook, and the first fish you catch will have a coin in its mouth. That wasn't luck. That was law. He was showing that nature itself, the very structure of reality, will reorganize around your inner alignment. When your consciousness carries divine certainty, the external world responds as a mirror. Circumstances shift, opportunities appear, provision flows, because the universe is not random, it is responsive. It is a living field of intelligence that listens to belief. The true currency of heaven is not silver or gold, it's belief. Money moves toward the one who already knows. Deep in their spirit, I already have it. It appears where gratitude meets dominion. It responds not to need, but to knowing. That's why when you affirm, I am abundant, I am provided for, I am aligned with divine supply, you're not lying to yourself. You're speaking spirit language. You're calling invisible energy into visible form. The world calls it affirmation, but heaven calls it creation. Every word you speak is a command to energy, and when your words and your inner state are in harmony, reality bows. Because money is consciousness in motion. It flows toward order, not chaos. It serves awareness, not anxiety. That's why Jesus never prayed for provision. He never said, Father, please send food. He thanked before it appeared. He recognized abundance before it took shape. He lived from the knowing that supply already existed, and gratitude unlocked its form. You see, manifestation isn't about trying to create something new. It's about recognizing what already is and giving it direction. Money is energy, waiting for your command. And that command doesn't come from fear or striving. It comes from alignment, from the quiet certainty that you and Source are one. When you think lack, you repel flow. When you think abundance, you open the gate. Every thought, every word, every emotion sends a frequency into the field, and money listens. It moves toward the one who vibrates with recognition. It gravitates to where order lives. It amplifies where awareness reigns. Because, at its highest truth, money is a servant, not a master. It doesn't dominate consciousness. It obeys it. It doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to divine direction. That's why those who live in gratitude seem to always have enough, and those who live in fear always need more. It's not the bank balance. It's the frequency. So, when Jesus held that coin and said, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's," he wasn't separating the spiritual from the material. He was teaching balance. He was saying, yes, engage with the world of form, honor its systems, but never forget you belong to something higher. The form serves you, not the other way around. Now, if you've understood everything up to this point, you're ready for the sacred teaching, the 3 divine steps to command money through consciousness. This isn't something to take lightly. It's sacred work, because it's not about control. It's about communion. It's about remembering your original identity. You are not a body trying to earn. You are spirit commanding form. So take a breath. Come fully into this moment. Let every distraction fade, because what you're about to hear next can completely shift the way money moves toward you. Let's go deeper. The first step to commanding money is simple, yet profound. Stop chasing it. You cannot command what you are still running after. Money responds to authority, not anxiety. And that authority comes from alignment, the internal posture of knowing, not striving. When you say, I am the source expressing abundance, you are declaring a fundamental truth. You and supply are not separate. You are one. You are not reaching for the flow. You are the flow itself. Think of it like electricity moving through a wire. If the circuit is broken, the current stops. In the same way, when your thoughts, emotions, and words contradict abundance, the energy stops flowing. You pray for money while secretly feeling lack. You affirm wealth while secretly worrying about bills. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Money doesn't respond to words. It responds to state. So before you speak, before you affirm, before you ask align. How do you align? Start here. Know that you are already provided for. Everything you will ever need already exists in potential form. You are not trying to acquire money. You are tuning your spirit to the frequency where abundance already exists. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Say quietly, not to the air, but to your own being, I am one with supply. I live in the current of abundance. Money is not outside of me. It moves through me. Repeat it until it begins to feel true. That feeling, the certainty, the inner knowing, is your evidence. That is alignment. When you live from this consciousness, everything else begins to locate you naturally. Money opportunities increase. You no longer ask, how will it come? You simply know it will, because money is not a thing. It is a mirror, reflecting what you believe about yourself. If you see yourself as someone who is always chasing, always trying, life will reinforce that. But if you see yourself as someone who already has, someone who is already aligned with the current of supply, life will continue to prove that truth. Alignment is the first command. It is the posture of abundance before manifestation ever appears. And once you master this, money stops running from you and begins to respond to your presence. Once you are aligned, the next step is to speak in the language of creation. Words alone don't create reality, but words backed by state do. The universe doesn't respond to your requests out of fear or need. It responds to conscious declarations rooted in alignment. Jesus showed this over and over. He never prayed in panic or desperation. He gave thanks before the miracle appeared. He didn't ask for provision. He acknowledged it, and the world conformed. This is the principle you must embody. Speak as if abundance is already present. Start with your inner dialogue. Notice the words you repeat about money. Are they limited, scarce, anxious? Every time you say, "I can't afford this," or "I'll never have enough," you broadcast limitation. Your state matches your speech, and money, as consciousness in motion, listens. Now shift. Begin speaking in spirit language. Say it quietly, but with inner authority. I am abundant. I am a magnet for divine supply. I receive all that is already mine. Notice the difference. One set of words spreads fear, one calls creation. Money moves toward recognition, not desperation. It flows to certainty, not struggle. The secret is this: your words must agree with your state. Alignment alone sets the current, and declaration directs it. So speak as though your abundance is already happening. Speak in gratitude before it arrives. Your affirmations are not empty phrases. They are commands to energy itself. And when your inner state and outer speech are synchronized, you become magnetized. You no longer chase. You attract. The law of consciousness ensures that energy flows where recognition lives. The final step is action, but not frantic effort. It's not about pushing, hustling, or forcing outcomes. It's about acting in harmony with the current of abundance. Once your state is aligned and your speech is clear, notice the opportunities that appear. Nature, people, and circumstance will begin to move in synchrony with your consciousness. Take inspired action, not because you fear lack, but because it feels natural and necessary. Think of it like a river. You don't pull the water upstream. You enter the current and let it carry you. Move with it. Place yourself in situations where energy can flow through you. Make decisions from a place of knowing, not scarcity. Follow the guidance of intuition, synchronicities, and divine signs. Every step becomes an extension of your alignment. Money, opportunity, and provision do not come from struggle. They come from presence, awareness, and inspired motion. Act as a channel, not a collector. Move as a conductor of energy, not a beggar of form. When all three steps are integrated, alignment, speech and spirit language, and harmonized action, you stop chasing money. You stop asking how it will come. It begins to respond to you naturally and effortlessly, because money, at its highest truth, is not a thing. It is consciousness, obeying the one who knows they are already whole. Now you know the truth. Money is not paper, coins, or numbers. Money is spirit, a living current that responds to your inner state, your words, and your actions. You have learned the sacred steps. 1. Align with abundance. Become the flow, not the seeker. 2. Speak in spirit language. Declare as if it already exists. 3. Act in harmony with flow. Move as a channel, not a collector. When you integrate these three, something extraordinary happens. Money stops running from you. Opportunity stops hiding. Provision ceases to be a question and becomes a mirror of your consciousness. Remember Jesus' example. He never chased. He commanded. He acknowledged abundance before it manifested. He multiplied provision through alignment, gratitude, and divine law. This is your invitation. Step into that same consciousness. Step into the authority you were born with. Step into the knowing that abundance is your natural state. From this moment on, don't ask for money. Don't beg for opportunity. Don't plead for provision. Command it. Command it through alignment, through your words, and through your inspired actions. Because money is a reflection of spirit, and spirit always obeys the one who knows they already have it. You are not separate from abundance. You are not outside the flow. You are the flow. And when you live from that truth, the universe bends, provision multiplies, and money stops chasing you because you have become the current it must follow. Step into that power today. Command, don't chase, and watch as the world itself responds to your awakening.